Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of, well, actually, you know what? I've never done it before, so this is a Reaper's review. I was going to do it for my other channel, Bay Area Entertainment Network, but none of my other guys have watched it. I don't think finished watching it yet. I finished it. I'm going to do it for my channel. So it's going to be my first ever actual review for a TV show. And this is Daredevil, the TV show on Netflix that came out this Friday that just passed, April the 10th. Now, this show was definitely one of the most anticipated shows that anybody who's a Marvel fan has been waiting for and hoping that we would get a good Daredevil show. Since we're not getting a movie, we're going to get a show. Now, this is definitely going to set a precedence for Marvel in the TV show series. Because this is going to be the first one. You have AKA Jessica Jones, and then you have Iron Fist, all coming out this year on Netflix for TV series. I mean, this is just exciting. So if this show does very well, which I believe it will after seeing what I've seen, Daredevil's going to get his own solo movie. Jessica Jones and them. And you're going to, of course, get the Defenders movie. I mean, what's not to like, right? So let's start off. The first Daredevil episode series, it is definitely an amazing, amazing movie. I mean, watch my reaction to the opening. All I gotta say is this Daredevil's pretty badass. No way. Okay, yeah, this is legit. I mean, he's playing with you. I'm telling you, this is definitely way better than the Ben Affleck movie. God damn it, that dude's just sitting there eating a sandwich. Not anymore, he ain't.
Head towards 48. Stay in the lights. Right down the first office.
Yeah. This is definitely way better than the Ben Affleck movie. This movie is, all I gotta say, this show is I don't think that guy lived. All I gotta say, this show, it's for an opening sequence. I mean, they really nailed what Daredevil is like. How, I mean, I can't wait to see what they do and how well they're gonna, mesh it into the live action. But I love the opening sequence here. It's definitely an amazing thing. Okay, so as you can see, it was definitely an amazing opening sequence. So they took basically Frank Miller's, style of how he looked like in the beginning, and they pretty much took kind of his take on the origin story for Daredevil. They did an amazing job with how he looked as a child, how it all started, and they just do little quick rapid things, and little flashbacks, which was pretty sweet. I loved how they did that. Also, the fact that you have the Kingpin wasn't in the whole thing. They never mentioned the Kingpin, and they never mentioned Wilson Fisk through the whole thing. You're just basically getting, oh, your boss, the boss, oh, the boss, your boss said. And before they commit, when they're about to mention him, like, hey, no, don't say his name. So it's pretty much very well done. Like how, if you're going to be a guy who's running things, you don't want people saying your name. You make sure nobody says your name. And you keep it on the under. So they did a really good job with that. So basically, this is like, and Vincent D'Onofrio tweeted it, a 13-hour long movie, which pretty much is maybe 13 plus hours because it's probably a few minutes here and there, but pretty much actually 13 hours. It's definitely a solid show. The fight scenes alone were pretty amazing between Daredevil and the people that he had to fight against. You had an appearance of the Fate. That was pretty awesome. You had an appearance of course, Karen Page, which is going to be Daredevil's love interest. Was Daredevil's girlfriend in the comics. He revealed his identity to her. They break up. The relationship's pretty rocky. Him and Foggy Nelson, of course, they had a relationship issue in the show that they showed. They actually go back and reveal how they became friends and all that, which was pretty cool. With that and then you having the Kingpin meeting his wife Vanessa. And so basically, it's like the beginning of who the Kingpin is and his rise to power, and him meeting his wife before he became, before she knew who he was, and when she finally found out who he was, she's still stuck with him. And then you have Daredevil, on his rise to becoming who he is and becoming the devil of Hell's Kitchen. It was definitely an amazing way that they did it. They took their time, and it was definitely a solid story. They went going. There's a couple episodes that are pretty much back to back, or it basically continued on from the same night, which I loved. It basically, the whole show was pretty cool. It was like days apart from the last time that they fought. And then one episode, and the next episode after that was pretty much continuation from that same day, which is, I loved how they did that. Each episode was pretty cool. It definitely had, where it's kind of slow a little bit, then it picked up a bit. But when it picked up really quick and fast. As far as the Frank Miller costume, you take some getting used to, because, you're watching Daredevil without his red suit, without the horns, without the double Ds, and you're like, I really don't like that. I wasn't a big fan of that costume either, and the first time I ever seen that kind of a costume was in the Incredible Hulk TV show, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. But even though that is the same costume that was in Frank Miller's costume and in the new Daredevil show, that was done way before Frank Miller had did that costume. So, that was done before anything. They just did a ninja style Daredevil, but Frank Miller, I guess, liked it and used it. I don't know if he liked it and he just had to use that and said, hey, that'd be perfect for his first costume. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but either way, it was pretty cool. So, as far as the show continued on, each one, they're like, well, dude, you gotta get an armor. He meets Dr. Claire. She stitches him up. She keeps on stitching him. She goes, you better get armor if you're going to keep going out there like this, because I can't keep stitching you up, and sooner or later you're going to get screwed up royally, where, nothing's going to help you. So there's two instances. He fights one of the ninjas from the Fate, and is pretty much left for dead. He beats him, but Wilson Fisk runs into him, and Wilson Fisk beats the crap out of him. And he beats him pretty broadly. And I gotta say, the fight sequence that they had with the Daredevil and the Kingpin when they first meet was pretty brutal. And basically, Daredevil was beat up on a handicapped guy. Daredevil was just getting his ass handed to him. He was getting picked up, just beat on left and right. So he manages to get away from that. He's left for dead. Foggy finds him. Like, man, this just sucks for him. But he survives it, and he continues on, and he still fights the good fight to try to, get rid of the Kingpin, or should I say Wilson Fisk, because he doesn't use the word Kingpin. They haven't named him the Kingpin yet. They just use Wilson Fisk, and he's the one that's basically dealing with all this stuff, and he's trying to get rid of him and basically get Hell's Kitchen back to where it should be without being people driven out and the crime being the way it is. With that being said, you have, the only client that they had was Paige, and they had nobody else, and you had them like looking and find out what was going on, and finally digging into that, but they had no other clients. Then they end up getting one client who's like very shady. Even though Matt knew that he was a shady guy, he took on the case because he knew there was something up with that. Of course, there was something up with that, so there was a link to the Kingpin. So that's the only reason. He only had those two cases. As far as the show goes, it was very well done. Way better than Gotham. Way better than Arrow. Way better than Flash. Pretty much it's on the same level as Constantine. Pretty much stuck to the comic book character. Did justice. Kept it gritty and real as basically it pushed it as far as you could push it for a show. I mean, as far as the action goes and the story goes, it's really well done. Hands up to them. They did an amazing job. I believe this show definitely knocked it out the park. And I think this show will definitely, spark an interest for a Daredevil movie. But if it does not, then I'll be disappointed. But, I mean, as far as the fight sequence with Wilson Fisk, with his punches and the way he did headbutts and the way he threw people around, they actually got the way his power and how he knocked people out. They got it down right. They did a really amazing job. Now, at the very end of the season, the last episode was called Daredevil. that is the episode. We get the Daredevil suit. What? Yes. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then I took a look at it, I was like, oh, it's not the kind of suit that I was expecting. And not that what I wanted. I was expecting an all-red suit with a double D in the middle. Not like the Ben Affleck where the double D on his side chest. They changed it up a bit. I kind of get what they're doing. So I was kind of like, alright, I'll let it go. The suit was pretty much kind of like reminiscent to Captain America's suit. How, I think not, was it the Captain America first one or the second one? Or is it the Avengers? Maybe the Avengers. Either way, it kind of looked the way it was done and everything like that. The headgear is like a helmet and it's like connected through like a mesh kind of thing. It was pretty cool. It was very well done. The horns are a little bit smaller, and instead of like being circular, they're kind of like they're angled. So it's like flat. It's basically like a triangle pulling out, and there's small little horns. It's still not that bad. The color scheme, of course, is black and red. I know it's not the all black Daredevil suit or the all red Daredevil suit or the yellow and black Daredevil suit. It's the red with black hints here and there. It still looks like a badass suit. Don't get me wrong. And he has the sticks. He has the sticks. So, maybe this is just he's gonna be using for now before he gets the full fledged all red with the double D's. I don't know. Either way, this show is an amazing show. If you have not seen Daredevil, check that damn show out now. Seriously, check that show out now. Dear God, check it out now. And if you did see it and you liked it, just wait. You have AKA Jessica Jones coming out. You have Iron Fist coming out. So please stay tuned for that. Also, in the description below, there's a link to Variant Comics. They did a whole thing about Daredevil. And this whole month they're doing Marvel stuff. They're talking about Marvel Comics. So, I'm going to link the description for the Daredevil talk that they did for Daredevil's history. I'm going to tweet at Eric Quiones and hopefully see if he's going to do anything about Daredevil's relationship with any of the characters and, hopefully give us in depth. I was going to go into depth about Daredevil's love history, but I was like, you know what? This was fine. I'm just going to review the show and just go into what was going on. I'm going to tweet at Eric Quiones and see if he'll do an episode of Daredevil's Loves. Maybe you should tweet at him too, at Eric_Quiones, and see if he'll do an episode of Daredevil's Girlfriends. Till then, guys, I'm Grim Reaper. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Like, dislike, leave a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Until then, guys, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye.